Thousands of people on Vancouver Island, across the country and the world have joined the Occupy Together movement. Their goal? To bring attention to economic inequity and corporate greed. But a lot of people still don't fully understand the point and the message. Dana Hutchings is here now with more in Checkpoint.
Stacey, on September 17th, protesters started occupying Wall Street. The idea came from Vancouver-based Adbuster magazine. It proposed a peaceful gathering to protest growing disparity in wealth. The idea has struck a chord and has gone worldwide. Tents are still up and protesters are occupying Victoria.
We're going to stay here as long as our message is getting across.
They're also occupying Vancouver and Toronto.
We're creating something that we want to be sustainable.
London.
The whole point is to unify the 99%, to realise that if you're in the 99%, you have all of the power, no matter how much money you have.
And where it all began, Wall Street.
I wanted to be a part of a movement that hopefully will affect change so that more economic justice can be spread around.
Around the world in some 80 countries, the message is the same. It started as a rallying cry against income inequality. The wealthiest 1% of the population is increasing its income, while the rest of the 99% is not.
The goal is just to make a point against corruption and all the problems that have hit our economy and hit young people across our nation, across the world.
About 1,000 people protested in Victoria on Saturday, one of more than 15 Occupy rallies across the country. From the start, this has been a true grassroots movement. On the downside, it's been accused of being leaderless with no clear message, no clear direction.
There is no one in charge. We are all in charge, and that's the truth. And it's amazing because of that.
That said, the Occupy movement is doing what it set out to do. It's getting the government's attention.
People are fed up. They occupy Wall Street, they occupy Bay Street, they occupy Ottawa.
The issue being raised in Parliament and here in the halls of the legislature.
The mixed bag that was there was rather kind of interesting because it was people of all different groups.
The growing inequity concerns everybody from seniors right through to young people. I think it states very clearly that governments have got to pay more attention.
Occupy Wall Street began 1 month ago and continues to grow. How long these tents will be up depends on how well the protesters can maintain this momentum. And that leads us to our checkpoint question tonight. Do you agree with the Occupy movement? Why or why not? You can tweet us at @check_news on Facebook at facebook.com/checknews or email checkpoint@checknews.ca. And one more note, it's interesting that the governor of the Bank of Canada, Mark Carney, spoke this weekend about the movement. He described it as entirely constructive, and he agreed that economic inequality is out of control. Stacey, the Occupy movement has definitely gone viral. Some are calling it a leaderless revolution, while others are calling it a hashtag revolt. And at Occupy Toronto, protesters have even set up a Wi-Fi station so they can tweet and Facebook out messages and upload videos to YouTube. Social media definitely playing a major role. And our checkpoint question tonight, do you agree with the Occupy movement? Why or why not? Here's some opinions from the streets.
When people are actually standing up for themselves and what they believe in and, actually demonstrating that, that's very empowering and very cool.
No, not particularly, because I don't think that's the way to solve the problems. I think there's a better way to do it. I think gathering a group like that does nothing.
I don't like the fact that the people in power are taking from the poor and giving to the rich. And it's not helping the economy at all.
I don't know that I really understand the point of occupying for it. I guess there's too broad a spectrum on it. Can't really figure out what the issue is necessarily, other than it's just against big corporations.
I don't know. I don't know that it's going to do any good. I sure hope it does, though. I don't see why the rich don't get taxed just like we do. I'm a hardworking guy, and I think that everybody should get taxed the same.
If it's an argument against corporate greed and against the disconnect between what business is doing and what is really needed for the population, for people, then yes, I'm definitely for it.
And here are some of your social media responses. Paul Harper says, yes, the rich do not pay enough taxes and the burden is heaped on the middle class. This is crushing the economy. Lori King says, no, I'm for the banks being more responsible, but not to force those who have worked hard, done well for themselves, to have to be forced to share their wealth. And Richard Critchlow says, if you really want to make a difference, then get out and vote, run for office or buy shares in a corporation. Then you have a say in how it's run. Lots of opinions, and we'll see what happens with the Occupy movement in the days ahead. And that's tonight's Checkpoint.